What's up, Queen City? Hope everybody's doing well. We are back with another episode of whatever we're calling this show. This is not a podcast. I took some heat. Apparently, it's a podcast. So we're just going to call it We're Hanging Out. We're chit-chatting. We're always having star-studded lineups, and tonight is another one. So Wednesday night this week, we've been a little bit off schedule just due to craziness, and that was the whole reasoning behind not wanting to make it an official podcast. So Wednesday, 8 o'clock, believe it or not, we have another event this weekend. It is the third event of the month, and we are going to the amazing Lake James. Now, normally I would tell you, the beautiful lake, beautiful scenery, but of course, Mother Nature and her typical Queen City ways is throwing us a curveball. We're expecting 10 mile an hour, 15 mile an hour winds with a little bit of rain in the morning. So really hoping it changes as it's only Wednesday, but typical Queen City weather. So unfortunately, it's rolling in this weekend, but I still think that it will be a good day of fishing. You might be a little wet. So this is, for those of you who are watching, this is going to be the second Western event of the season. We opened on Lake Kiwi with a big 50-plus showing, and we're hoping we're going to have the same amount of guys come out to Lake James. Remember, all roads lead to the TOC, so there are 300 points on the line, and we want you to be there trying to qualify for the Tournament of Champions. A lot of anglers were asking me, why are we only fishing one time in May? Well, it's really twofold. There were 3 events in April 1st, April 15th, and now April 22nd. So we wanted to let you chill out a little bit in May. And also, we were giving you a ton of opportunity to pre-fish for what's coming on June 3rd, which is the Queen City and the Native No Limit event with an endless amount of lakes on the options. So we wanted to give you time to prep for that. It's a little bit more money this year for that event. And we are using it as your trail event. So we wanted you guys to feel comfortable going into that event. So we decided to make May a little bit of a relaxing month. So we'll see how the plan goes. Really hoping we run into a bunch of you out at Lake James this weekend and then in Fletcher at Big Adventures. So we are going to use this as our live captains meeting. But you guys know the captains meeting is really just a Q&A. We talk about some basics. But at the end of the day, everything is posted under the Files tab. So I will talk about some really basic rules. Obviously, man-powered event, metal catchboard only. We are on Lake James. You are expected to access the lake list and the map under the Files tab. I just reposted it because the PDF was not allowing you to click it. So now the Excel has a clickable lake link where you can see the pins. So Lake James is not a huge lake. There are 6 open access points. We have Linville, Mimosa, Burnett, Canal Bridge, Hidden Cove, and Black Bear. I will say Mimosa, I believe, is $25. So that's a big launch fee. Obviously, your decision. Used to be 10. Pretty sure they bumped it up to 25. So Patty's Creek is actually open as well. It's on the map, but we ask you that you do not block the ramp. It is the sheriff's ramp they put in there, or NDNR, I believe. So if you launch there, you have to carry down to the lake, okay? I am your director this week. Blaine is not involved in the Western Series just yet. So I am your director. I will be judging your fish all day. Your small bass submission will come to me. And then I will hit the road and head towards Fletcher so we can have an amazing weigh-in at Big Adventures. And we'll talk more about that here in a minute. We are going to launch at 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 a.m. Your first cast will be 6:30. Your final picture must be taken prior to 2:30, so 2:29:59. And then your last submission must be prior to 3:30, so 3:29:59. And then we're going to start our weigh-in ceremony at 4:30. That's a soft time. About 4:30 at Big Adventures. We are going to grill out on the Blackstone. I have somebody here who's going to tell us all about that here in the back. And we're actually going to give away a really cool prize, and we'll also let him talk about that. So without further ado, and it does not come with a complimentary mimosa, Hidden Cove is having... So we've launched at Hidden Cove with no gate and no times. So Dylan, when you get into town, will you verify that and let me know, please? You corrected it, 7 to 9. But please verify that and let me know. So on the show tonight, we're going to bounce back and forth a little bit. I'm going to bring in Mr. Tyler Brown with Big Adventures. And then I'm going to bring in my buddy Marvin from California. We're going to talk about the No Limit series where he just absolutely set the bar, crushed it, set the California record for a kayak event. And then we're going to bring in Gas House Custom Rods and Big Daddy Kurt to talk about his great company as he is the presenting sponsor along with Big Adventures for Lake James. So let's bring in Tyler. And if you guys end up with questions about our little, captain's meeting review, just put them in the comments and we'll get to them. And here's Mr. Tyler Brown. What's up, buddy?
Hey, everybody. Hey, Vinny. Thanks so much for having me tonight. We're really fired up to be a presenting sponsor of the West Series here, and obviously with the Native brand being a title sponsor for the overall Queen City. We love what you guys are doing. We love the club, and we're excited to host you guys this weekend at the Big Adventures Factory. For those that don't know what Big Adventures is, you probably know us by our brands, Native Watercraft, Bonafide Kayaks. We have a couple other brands too, but we make them at our factory in Fletcher, and we've got a store there now. So we're selling kayaks there to serve the local market and you guys. And then we've got the Blackstone going on Saturday. So we got burgers and dogs, drinks, and we're going to be giving away a Falcon 11. So really excited. You got to be there to win it. So please come by. It's going to be a ton of fun. And like I said, if you guys have any questions or need anything from our side, please let us know.
So I had some guys asking, did they have to place well to win the kayak? No, as long as you enter the event, go fishing, show up at Big Adventures. We're going to do a random draw for a Falcon 11 fresh off the lot. Take it home right there. I'll let Tyler tie it down in your truck for you.
Tyler, no liability, please. Yeah.
No, we have a covered area, right? We're going to be cooking under a covered area.
Yeah, there's if it's raining, we have a covered area to cook under. It'll be a little further away from the store, but we'll be able to manage that. It's not too far. Hopefully the rain will stop or not be as is predicted for the event too. So
yeah, it's still early. I don't really trust them until the night of, but we'll see what happens.
Always changing. Changing.
So. Where do you want us to set up banners and stuff? Are we going to be in the store?
Yep, in the store. Yep. Lucas and Rodney will be there from our side, hosting you guys, and they're just there to kind of make sure you guys have what you need. And but yeah, you'll set up in the store. We'll clear out some space for everybody.
Awesome. So I'm excited to show some guys the store that may have never been there.
Yeah, and I mean, you'd probably be pretty surprised at how much bait and tackle we have now out of the store. Got a lot of different brands now that we're carrying, between a lot of pure fishing stuff, Berkeley, Plano, Z-Man, all sorts of goodies now. We just got added as a Shimano dealer. Nice. So we're really fired up about that. And we're going to start carrying Grundens too. So some cool stuff going on there.
You just got a legit question there for you.
Sure. Oh, plant tour. Yes. It won't be operating on Saturday, but I can have Lucas, make sure Lucas is in the loop, and Lucas will walk you guys around for sure. Probably do one fell swoop with everybody.
Yeah, that works. I'm not sure how many guys will come back. And I'll be honest, at this moment at 8/11 on Wednesday night, it's a winner-take-all event. It is extremely small. I think guys are waiting out the weather to see really what's going to happen. I know we usually have a big Friday rush. So hoping we're above the goal. The goal for the Western was 30. We started off with a bang. So we'll see where we end up come Saturday morning, but I'm excited to be up there, man.
Yeah, we're excited to host you guys. So really appreciate it.
Can you rattle off that address for Facebook?
Oh, sure. It's at 210 Old Airport Road in Fletcher. I don't know if Vinny, you can write that in the comments, or I can probably write it in the comments. So I'll do that right now.
Yeah. So it won't. Oh, it will let me comment. Wait a minute. Look at that. It worked. I didn't type it, but it usually doesn't let me comment. That must be an update. So Dylan just commented for everybody. 210 Old Airport Road. You can just Google Big Adventures Factory Store, and that'll take you right where we need to be. Big Slayer hanging out.
Thanks, Dylan. Yeah.
So, awesome. Yeah, man. Well, look, I know you're usually crunched for time, super busy guy. I really appreciate you being here. Obviously, thank you a million times for everything you do for us. And we look forward to seeing you this weekend.
Thank you guys for everything you do for the sport. We're excited to host you guys and excited to be a part of it. So thank you.
Thanks, Ty. Have a good night.
Yeah, thank you. Bye, guys.
Awesome. So that's exciting. That is a brand new venue for us. Not a brand new lake. We've been going to James for years, but we kind of outgrew it. So it's nice to be able to go back to it with the Western Division. And I'll tell you what, if I was fishing this event, I would not be upset that it was going to be raining all day. And I stated this earlier on the page. I think you'll be able to throw top water from start to finish, which is my favorite way to catch them. So in a little bit of cloud cover, a little bit of rain, I think you guys will be just fine sitting out on those points and ripping some smallmouth out. So for those of you who don't really read what I post, I'm going to give away a free entry into another event of your choice, $65 value for the highest finishing angler that has a largemouth, smallmouth, and spotted bass in their submitted limit. So can't cull it out. In your submitted limit, if you have the 3 slam, we're going to hit you with a free entry into any $65 entry fee of your choice. So we're going to change gears because we're on a little bit of a time crunch. And I got my boy here from the West Coast where it's only 5:14 and he's actually at work. So hopefully he's not going to get in trouble. But Native and the No Limit Series kicked off last weekend in California. My boy Marvin was the director, part of our directing team. And let me tell you, not only did it go well, he set the Native No Limit record. He set the California record for kayak event with 182 anglers. And there he is. What's up, buddy?
What's up, man? Thanks for having me. Yeah, what an amazing weekend. I was totally speechless. Everything went smooth. I really had no complaints, and I can't thank enough with my teammates out there. The Native team. You're obviously part of the Native team. Everything, we had a great supporting team out there, and it just went super smooth.
So you obviously, for people who aren't watching, let me just say something. We all run the events slightly different because they're targeting our home club. Now, that doesn't stand true for Guntersville and Fork, so we're going to have to figure those out. But you did something that I would absolutely never do, and that was a shotgun launch. Right?
Yeah, and reason being is because the way I set up the permits, it only allowed me 1 launch. And also we have to get recreational permits from the lake that only approved me to do 1 launch. And I was already a full send on it, and I couldn't make any changes. So I just gotta go with the flow with this one, With that being said, I didn't think we were gonna get 181. Maybe 125, which was our goal. Then it kept going up, and then it was like 150. And then by the time it was, I was on my way to the lake and just kept going up and up. And by the time I was having dinner, it was at 181. So how are we gonna make this smooth on this launch, So our launch time was around I believe it was 5 o'clock a.m. So the gates open at 4, and we weren't gonna launch until 5:30. So I was supposed to go ahead and just open up the launch at 4:30 because the launch was. I checked out the launch, and I wasn't sure if it's going to support 181 anglers, and I needed anglers to actually make some way for other people to go through because there's boaters coming by. And so go ahead and get on the water, park the boat, but just don't leave in the area. And obviously, if you're going to be leaving, someone's going to catch you. But
absolutely.
Everything went smooth, but the line to get on the launch was just insane. But by the time we had our morning program, everybody was on the water, so it was super smooth. I didn't see no fights. No one was arguing. Everybody was parked. We just filled up that parking lot. It actually overflowed a little bit, so it was.
I bet you did. So yeah. I'm gonna try to pull up this picture. I just sent it to myself.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like I got it here. Let me share my screen. I should have prepped this. I'm sorry, but share screen. So this is a picture that Marv posted of a shotgun launch with 180 people, and it looks like a damn boat event. Red and green.
And dude, that's not even that's just one section of the launch.
I bet.
Area. I mean, what I see over there is probably maybe 60 or 70. And think about it. If you pan to the right, it was just way more boats out there. It was just crazy. It was crazy. It was bumper cars and everything, but no one was complaining. And around 5:20, I had a morning program. Made a short prayer for everybody to go out there, make sure that they're safe and everything. And also want to tribute it to our late angler, which his name is Tony Moore. He's a legend out here, and he's very well loved. And he passed away 3 days before the event. So just want to make a little tribute to him out there. Play the bagpipes for him, and after that, said the national anthem, and then just counted out and blast off. And I was super hyped, man. I was super hyped to see everything. I wish we had a drone, but I couldn't ask that from the anglers. They're out there. They all want to leave at the same time, and I didn't have one. So, we missed on that opportunity. But if you take a look into the native the group page where all our tournament information is in there, I actually created a video of what that whole morning program was like, all leading up to the launch. So go ahead and check that out.
So I'm going to see if I can grab that real quick and link it, and then guys can watch that. You did an amazing job, Marv. You were out on a boat, right? And you were
afterwards, and I grabbed my camera gear, went out there to take some pictures. It's tough taking pictures of a lot of anglers out there. I did my best, and I took pictures of people on a bass boat, and at the same time running all the feedback, sending some DQs. But I mean, and just doing some admin work on there, and my buddy on the boat was fishing along, so I was quite busy in the lake, and surprisingly, the lake had a lot of coverage everywhere we went.
Cool.
Yep.
So you don't know this, and I posted the link right here below of your video that I just pulled off Facebook. You don't know this, but you kind of indirectly took some shots at Queen City because you broke our record. So we put up 160 at the Native No Limit event last year in the Carolinas. You said that ain't nothing, and you dropped 182 on us. And so we are next up on June 3rd. So I guess I gotta say it publicly for all 15 people who are watching. We're coming to get you, dog.
Okay. I don't know if you're putting words in my mouth, but I like that. I like that, and I guess, shots are being hauled right now. So if there's a club that can't beat it, it's absolutely Queen City. You guys have a massive club out there, and your turnout is always amazing. So if there's a club out there, an organization that can beat this, it's got to be Queen City, without a doubt.
Well, I appreciate the kind words, and I will let you know that I am gunning for you 100%. So I'm going to share – I want to share a picture, but I want you to give us a rundown. So Native picked up some amazing sponsors this year. Tyler was out busting his tail. He picked up some high-level sponsorships. Our payouts are sick, better than anybody could have imagined,
right?
Better than any other series out there, if you ask me. So tell us your payout breakdown for 182 anglers. What did it look like?
So I'll just take, we paid out all the way to 15th place, but I'll go ahead and share the numbers for the top three because these are good numbers. At first place, Anthony Garcia took the whole thing at 317 3/4 inches. He actually beat the second place by over 80 inches. He took home at 32.50. So $3,250. Yeah, $3,250. That's
Mark, did he win an hour? Did he win an hour as well?
No, he didn't win an hour.
So he was on numbers.
Yeah, he got a lot of numbers, but he did take home a kayak.
Oh, yes, he did.
He did take home a kayak, okay? That second place was Sean Latham at 234 inches and a half, and he took home $1,650. He beat out Greg Blanchard by 232 and a half inches and Greg took home 1,350. So you can see the payouts of the top three. I mean, that's easily 4 digits. You don't see that too many other organizations. So that was pretty awesome. Additional to the payouts we have over here, we paid out $1,000 per hour, and we had 8 different winners. The overall big fish was Max Lee at 24 inches. I don't know if you got a weight on it, but that thing was humongous. The second runner-up at the biggest fish was 22 inches. So right off the bat, Max Lee just slayed it. He also won 10th place. He took home a boat, and he got the Big Fish Award. So I mean, that's one hell of a one hell of a win over there.
Absolutely. Going home with hardware, going home with boats, going home with hourly money, going home with big money. I know we ran into a little time crunch on your trophies, so we didn't get them posted up. But Carolina got to see the Carolina versions. I posted up the Catch Products bump trophies that we're all going to rock this year. Mm-hmm. We went with the murdered out black on black. So
it looked awesome up and close. It looked real sick.
Nobody I should have did this in the briefing, but any shot you have a picture of the gold one, because I've not shown that off yet.
I think I have one on my phone. And I'll post it up. I'll send it to you so you can share it with your event.
Okay.
I also go ahead.
Well, I was gonna let the guys know. So Tim Fitz, who makes our elite plaques, guys, he made a black on gold or gold on black, I guess, big bass of the event plaque. And with the black on black and then the black and gold, it was absolutely fire. And then we did plaques, certificates for 4th through 10th. So Marv, you got it rocking out there, baby, and you set the bar. I love it. So go ahead, say what you were gonna say.
Super smooth. I also want to mention that our hourly prizes were paired with our sponsors. Our 8 sponsors was Huck Fishing, Yak Attack, Bending Branches, NRS, Yakima, Dakota Lithium, Rapala, NBMC, and Boggs Footwear. They all these companies were sponsored each hour, and they were able to add additional prizes on top of the $1,000. So that really did sweeten up the deal.
So we have added cash, and we have added gift packs, and we have added prizes to every hour this season.
Yep.
So Queen City last year paid out $1,300 an hour. Plus we had some prizes. This year it's going to be a minimum of $1,000 an hour plus insane amount of prizes and added money. So this series, man, I know I'm a part of it and I'm boosting it because I'm a part of it, but this series is blowing up. We added 2 events this year. We're taking a trip down to Gunnersville in the heat of frog season, which is absolutely going to be a blast, and I wish I could fish it. And then we're taking a trip out to Texas in the fall to catch probably some 22 to 25 inchers, if I had to guess.
Hey, we heard those anglers out there in Texas. They wanted an event out there, and hey, I'm hoping we're delivering out there for you guys.
Kayak anglers tend to complain a lot. I'm sure all anglers complain a lot. We're just in the kayak world. So you just need to understand that we hear you and we're listening, and we're going to do everything we can to make you happy. Sometimes logistics take some time. Mm-hmm. So, we kicked it off last year. We went 5 events. We averaged over 100 anglers. That was the team's goal. That was the boss man below us. That was his goal, over 100 anglers. We did it. He gave me the reins. He was like, Vinny, go get us some more events. And we did it. So we're rocking 7 this year. I don't see how we don't average over 100 now with you starting off with almost 200. So I think it's going to be a good year, man.
Thank you for the kind words, brother. Thank you for the kind words.
I was so happy for you. You don't understand. I was like so jacked up, man. I was on the water. I wasn't a part of helping or anything, and I'm sorry for that, but you guys did phenomenal.
Everything went super smooth with the way we planned it. It felt all in place. Didn't have any hiccups. If anything, if I was worried, if I was going to worry anything about the event, it would have been the launch, but that went super smooth.
I would have had an anxiety attack if I asked 100 people to show up at one. I don't even ask 100 people to show up at one lake. Never mind one ramp. We get 180 where we're going multi places. Yeah. But look, I know you're at work. I know it's only 5:30 by you. Again, congratulations, great job. Thanks for jumping on my little podcast here.
And thanks for having me.
I'm sure we'll be talking a bunch.
All right, have a good one, guys.
Later, buddy. Awesome. I hope you guys can feel the excitement in his words and my words, and to put 180 up for a native no limit event is absolutely phenomenal. And if you guys are watching and you have no idea what the No Limit series is, jump over and check it out on Facebook. No Limit series featuring the Big Bass Power Hour presented by Native Watercraft. We are lucky enough to host an event here in the Carolinas. We accept every bass you catch over 14 inches for an overall payout, and we also pay out $1,000 every hour of the event for your biggest bass, for somebody's biggest bass, and we do time submitted on that. So absolutely, no, time captured. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Time captured. So you absolutely need to check that out, and it's coming June 3rd. For those of you who think I decided to add 3 lakes late, I did not. I just had 2 lists under the files tab. So I just took the Raleigh lakes and put them on the main series lakes. So it's all pretty and all in one spot for you all. There's no way we're going to run an event that's 2 Carolinas wide and not have Harris, Falls, and Jordan, so we can ask for support from our Eastern Raleigh anglers. So super jacked up. Last year, I think we had like 6 lakes take home the hourly winners, which is bonkers. Cool hardware, cool certificates. 3, he didn't even really say it. 3 native kayaks are going to go home that day. And the coolest part is it's actually your trail event this year. So we're going to do your points based off of your overall standings, and we're going to remove non-members from the standings. So you'll get your points based on where you finished amongst the members. So Ryan will have to play with the list a little bit, but he'll get it all taken care of. And, you know, when we're asking for anglers to travel in, we don't want those to affect your overall standings for the year. And we're going to be literally every lake that the club is fishing this year, which includes the main series, the Southern series, and the Western series, plus the Raleigh lakes. I don't even know how many it is. I'd be lying if I sat here and gave you a number, but I think it's close to 30. So there's a ton of water on there. Hoping to hit guys from Georgia, Tennessee, North and South Carolina, probably Virginia, maybe some West Virginia. So it's really going to be a fun event. And I will get away from that right now, but we can dive closer to that event. You guys can ask all the questions you need. Awesome update here from Dylan. Remove the storms and reduce the wind. So I think we're going to be okay. I wasn't overly concerned. As I said, it is only Wednesday, but I do think it's going to be a good event. If we hit that 50 number, first place will be about $1,400, which is phenomenal. So someone's getting excited. John says, don't play with his emotions. I saw more than 5 kayakers on James today between my eyes and Facebook. I think that Foot Road group has something going on. Yeah, okay. Somebody overlapped on us this event. So there are 2 events on Lake James. So Queen City will be there fishing, and then we'll be over at Fletcher. That's all I have to say. We have Mr. Big Daddy Kurt in what he calls the lab, currently working, and we're going to bring him on, and he's going to talk to us about Gas House Custom Rods, as they are the presenting sponsor for the Lake James Western event, along with the Clash for the main series. So Kurt is a huge supporter of what we do. And Big Daddy Kurt, you're in the building. How are you, baby?
What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How y'all doing?
So, I'm great. But before I let you start talking about your awesome rod building, I want to ask you how things are going as an angler, because I understand that you've been pretty excited the last couple tournaments.
So, you know, I've spoken on it a couple times. South Carolina lakes over the last 4 years has just been eating my butt. And, yeah, so far this year, South Carolina, I'm fishing with a lot less stress, a lot less pressure, and I'm actually able to start dialing in, what I'm doing on the water. So, it's not all me though. I mean, I've got guys that are, giving me little tips and stuff every now and again. We all do, but being able to get on the water and back-to-back limits on South Carolina lakes.
Say that again, because that's the part you're excited about. Say it again.
Back-to-back limits on South Carolina lakes.
There it is.
I mean, it's been, I've been hammered. I've been going at it and going at it and going at it and going hard, studying and everything, and just seems like things are starting to kind of pan out. So angling wise, yeah, it's My goal, my goal for the rest of the season are limits, nothing less. And my main goal for this year is break top 10. So if I can limit out and break the top 10, that'll put me very, very, very close to at least being able to take a shot. Yeah, I don't want to jinx it, man. I don't want to jinx it. Take a shot at the talk.
So you said a few things I want to touch on. You've had every reason in the world to stop competing and stop fishing tournaments. You've gone 3 years of getting wrecked. You just admitted that. You've had no limits, right? You've not cashed. You've not placed. You've had every reason to call me and be like, Vinny, I love you, but I'm done. And I would have said, I don't necessarily agree because I don't think you should quit, but you never even contemplated that. You're pushing harder. Me and you stumbled upon a conversation where I ended up giving you some tips and hints, and I don't know if they've helped, but we talked for about an hour that night on just overall angling tips. And we
spots.
do it. Say that again.
No spots.
No
pins. No pins. Just
no.
Things to think about.
Too secretive for that. We have a never give up award, which is for anglers who fish 7 events and don't qualify for the Tournament of Champions. I have a lot of conversations with brand new anglers who ask me, "What's a good goal?" Or they say, "I want to win Angler of the Year," and I'm like, "Listen, dude, take a breath. Like it's you're jumping into the big leagues. There are a ton of guys here. There's a lot of stiff competition. So I tell new guys, your goal should not be to win Angler of the Year right now. Like it really should not be. Your goal should be to catch a limit at every event and just see what happens from there. And if you can make the Tournament of Champions, then you by far surpassed your goals."
Yep,
so
exactly.
If you look at the data from the last few years, it's and don't quote me on this, but if you averaged about 28th place over 7 events, you qualified for the Tournament of Champions. So it really, a limit, most events, unless you're catching 412s, is going to put you somewhere in that 25 to 35 range. So that's really all you got to focus on. And you hope you stick a big one in the mix and everything changes.
Yep. Yeah. If you can get four lights and a cull or 2, you get that limit. That's the the last, like I said, I've been going about it kind of all wrong, and
there's no rules.
Kind of rethinking, and like I said, having some conversations with some with guys that are always up in the upper 10%, and then coming to weigh-ins, guys. Let me say this. Let me say this real loud. If you don't come to weigh-ins, you're doing yourself a disservice, period. Especially if you're a young or a new angler to this sport and you're not coming to the weigh-ins, you're not getting the side conversations that you're hearing. You're not getting the tips that you hear between, other anglers, or tips that you hear, guys that are going up 10th, 9th, 8th, 7th, 1st, right? You're not getting those tips if you don't go to the weigh-in. You can watch it live, sure. But what you don't get is the number one, the side conversations that you overhear.
It's not even that, Kurt. It's the hour that we're standing in the room before the 30 minutes that I'm live.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. The side conversations that you hear, the guys being able to meet the guys that are constantly and consistently in the top 10, and these guys, they're not stuck up. They're not, that's what I love. There's 2 things there's a lot of things I love about this club, but the main 2, number 1, the strict adherence to rules, no matter what, no matter who. I absolutely love that. And number 2,
the director is a mean son of a bitch. I heard.
I'm not saying nothing. No, there's not a single. I've not run into a single person that won't sit down or won't text you or send you a message and say, "Hey, look, I saw you I overheard you did this. Maybe next time look at it or try it this way, or for instance, last my Santee Cooper tournament second fish. I don't know if you guys watched the Bass and Brews Queen's Chronicle that came out Tuesday. I talked about this, but my second fish would have never happened if I hadn't listened to something that Frankie Wolf got on me about. And I've been on my wacky rig, apparently I've been fishing a leader that's too short. I elongated my leader. It just, it's paid out. It's benefited, number one, but number two, it paid out big time. I stuck slid my wacky worm up in a cypress, felt a big tick, set the hook, braid snapped. Do not buy Beyond Braid. You heard it here. Snapped 3 times that day.
Are you serious?
The braid snapped, not the knot. The knot was still attached to the braid, just snapped. Do not buy Beyond Braid. So snapped it, sat back. This was the first time, and I was like, what's going on? It was a new FG knot, so maybe I messed it up. Looked at the line, I was like, no, this is frayed. That's weird. And I looked over, and on the limb was the end of that braid. It's bright orange. Couldn't miss it. And I was like, what's the chance of me being able to slide over there nice and quiet and not spook this fish and actually land this thing by hand? I was like, nah, there's no way. But let me try. So, it seemed, I said it the other day, I'm going to say it now, it seemed like it took me 15 minutes. It was probably only about a minute. But I crept super slow pedaling. Super slow, got to it and reached out, and I was like, just don't move. Snag. Got it. Brought that fish in by hand. Would not have been able to do that if I'd have had my normal length leader.
That's hysterical.
That leader would have been gone underwater. That fish would have been gone, and would have had a nice life. So yeah. So point is, guys, come to the weigh-ins. Right? You're gonna meet guys. You're gonna meet people that's.
Kurt, let me interrupt you for a second. Your video's frozen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I don't think it's me.
Grief.
So. Oh, there you go.
That was weird. So anyway, come to the weigh-ins, guys. I mean, you're gonna meet the guys. You're gonna be able to talk to them. Even if they have a bad day, they're gonna they're gonna give you tips, especially if you ask. So come to the weigh-ins, period. Come to the weigh-ins. If you're in the top 10, all right, I'm going to jump on this. I said this on Facebook Live the other day. I'm going to jump on this real quick. If you're in the top 10, especially, and you are getting money, come to the weigh-in.
Can I double on that just because I don't want to carry your plaques around anymore? Those plaques get heavy after a while, so it'd be nice if you got them.
I mean, even if you don't say anything, you get up there, shake Vinny's hand, give him a big hug, whatever, and you go sit back down and don't say anything, that's fine. But for guys like me, guys and gals like me that consistently put in the work and are always out there and just really kind of hustling, trying to sort it out, you guys really are an inspiration, right? You're a source of information, but the big thing is you're an inspiration to the rest of us. So when Vinny gets down to number 5 and, well, he's not here, number 4, and, well, he's taking home $800, he's not here, I'm like, dude, let me break, right? Let me break. I'm coming up with theme music and everything. Y'all wait. You let me break the top 10 and see what happens. It ain't gonna be a quiet thing. So, I mean, if you got a problem, you can't make it no big deal. But
yeah, man, and life happens. We understand that. Yeah. Life happens. Our Southern winner last week, he went home with almost $2,100. But his daughter, I think it was his daughter. His kid was having a birthday party.
Yeah.
So, we get it. Life first, family first. Like, I understand. Would we have loved to hand you the plaques in person and get that picture? Yeah, of course. But life happens.
Yeah. So yeah.
Well, that's angling, Kurt.
Yeah, I know.
Go ahead. What you got?
Oh, I was going to say thank you. I didn't thank you before. Thank you for having me on.
Of course. Thanks for being here. So I want to talk to you. Have you fished Lake James?
Oh man, I grew up on Lake James. I mean, to the point that I don't even have to think about where I'm going. I know where I'm going. I know what I'm doing. I mean, Lake James. If there's a lake in North South Carolina that I know every little thing on it, yeah, that's me. That's
all
Lake
right. Well,
James.
let me know what theme music I gotta have for your walk up, so I can have it on the phone. I'll bring the speaker.
I've got it on my phone.
When I get there, you Bluetooth it to me.
When I get there, I'll Bluetooth it. We'll get all that. I'm telling you. I mean, I may even, I'll probably. I'm thinking about. I may even take my kilt. I might come up in kilt.
Jesus Lord.
If I break top 10 at James, I'm coming up in kilt. You heard me say it.
Leave your drawers on underneath, please.
You heard me say it.
No, you heard me say it.
You can't wear a kilt with.
Well, then don't wear the kilt. One or the other, please. Dylan is excited. He will be cooking, so he doesn't have to look at it. That's why he's telling you to do it. So, yeah, shout out to Dylan. He's going to be on the Blackstone, flipping up some burgers and hot dogs. We got Pepsi products coming. I think we got some chips too. I think Tyler said he got some chips for us. Cool. So hope you guys. And look, I'll be the first to say it. I get it. Big Adventures is not that close to Lake James. I get it. But that's why we're giving a kayak away. And that's why we're throwing some good food on the grill, because we want you to be there. So I'm giving incentive for you to be there. I'm not forcing you to be there. I'm not taking your points away if you don't come. I'm giving you a kayak and some good food. So come hang out.
Look at the top of the screen. I'm going to point to it. Look at the top of the screen right about.
Yeah, it's there. Baby. Yep.
You see that? Native. That's where that kayak comes from.
Yep.
Right.
They do a lot for us, guys. All your big payouts are a lot to do with them.
Fishing in the club is one thing. Showing support for the club. That's how you show support for the club. You show support for the sponsors that have the events going, that offered up the prize money and you guys support them. So
on that note, we got you down for 2 events this year, the Catawba Clash, and we ended up giving you Lake James for the West to try to improve your business in the mountains. So tell us how long you've been running your business. What is your business? What do you offer? What's the price ranges? How do we get in contact? This is your moment. Sell yourself to everybody who's going to watch this.
All right. So, Gas House Custom Rods. I'm in Gastonia. Obviously, that's why it's Gas House. I've been building rods for, 3 or 4 years, 4 years, 5 years, something like that. Been in business for a little over a year and a half. And I got in the business because I didn't like the rods that were on the shelf, period. Mm-hmm. For kayak anglers, especially bigger kayak anglers, but kayak anglers in general, you're in a cramped space. Most of the time we're sitting down. Most of the time we have PFD on, and I got sick and tired of these elongated butts that are on all these bass rods. So I said, it really came to a head one tournament. I brought all my stuff home, ripped it all apart, put all the rods down on the floor, and came out and said, okay, look, what do I like about each one of these rods? What do I don't like? I wrote all that stuff down, and I started thinking, all right, it can't be that hard to make a decent rod. I don't want to make a decent rod. I want to make a light, extremely sensitive, no frills rod. I don't.
And good looking. Looking.
I don't put anything on the rod that doesn't serve a purpose. There's a lot of these rods out here that have long stickers on them and all this. All right, I understand you want it to be all nice and pretty and stuff. I don't. Seriously, I want it to operate. I want it to be light. We're fishing 8 hours, an ounce is a pound at the end of 5 hours. So, that's how I got into it. Started making rods and just kind of exploded from there. So Yeah.
Well, that's
awesome. So you can find me on Facebook, either my Facebook page, Gas House Custom Rods, or I'm all over the sponsor banner. Probably at the end of the year, I'll be launching a website. I'm kind of sorting that out now. But yeah, I build them one at a time. Period. I've thought about having my signature rod, having a series rod, and I don't want to get caught up in that. I don't want to not knocking other brands, but there are custom brands that started out custom and are, they're in shelves, they're on shelves now. I don't want to ever be that. I want to be that guy that if you want a custom rod, you can call, or if you have a rod, and this is something I hadn't said a whole lot about, but if you have a rod that's 3, 4, 5 seasons old, eyes are looking crap, a couple of the guys you've glued back on, and you got it wrapped on with a tie wrap or something, hit me up. I can take all those guides off. I can source new guides, throw them on, kind of recondition the rod.
I need that done.
I'm not very good at grips. I will tell you that. I've tried to do a couple grips. I think
you mean redo grips?
Redo grips, yeah. I think that's going to be an Achilles heel until I get that skill kind of down. I don't get a whole lot of people asking for that, but replacing a guide here or there, guys, I've got a pretty decent amount of people asking for guides. So I'm opening it up. I can strip all the guides off and redo the whole rod.
Can you give us a price range on that? I know the guide type matters and whatnot.
Yeah. So it really does. It can be anywhere from anywhere high 80s. Depending on the guide. I did a rod the other day with titanium guides that the guy wanted the color to match the guide itself. So I was like, okay.
It was not me. I would like to say it was not me.
Yeah, I just happen to know a guy that does not electroplating. What's it called? Anyway, he does he can color the titanium guides, and so I ordered a set from him, and the rod was pretty. I mean, it was pretty, but I don't think I would have paid what I had to charge for it. Cause I'm serious. Hey, I'm just being honest. It was expensive. The blank itself, it was a G Loomis blank. So upwards to $200 blank, just the blank itself. So I could understand the guy saying, "Hey, look, I want the best guides on it." And, since I'm doing it, hey, let's make it match the reel. So, my average price for a new rod, $250 average.
Okay.
High price, I think the highest price rod I've built so far is over 600. But that one, I did 2 of them for that. It was retirement present for some guy up in Raleigh.
Nice.
And I don't even think those rods have been used. I haven't seen any pictures of them. I did those early. I did those actually before I started my business, and that was one of the people that kind of pushed me to really consider it. So yeah.
Well, we got a question up on the screen. What are your preferred guides?
My preferred guides, man, I like and this sounds crazy, but for the price, I like the CRB LZR guides. They are a double swagged sick guide. I like it. I like both the casting and the spinning guides. Comes in a little kit. They are CRB guides. There's nothing wrong with them. I love them. I got them on most of my personal rods. And they come as a set. I don't have to think about the size rings or anything like that. Like if I source Fuji's, I've got to sit down and think about, okay, what is this guy using it for? Is this a wacky rig rod? Is he using what kind of, leader line to, what kind of knots he using, what kind of knots he expecting to go through the guide. So I got to think about all that. So, but yeah, the CBR LZR guides, I like those. And the, what was this? The last group I got, the SSRs, the stainless steel rings.
Nice.
I'm really kind of liking those. The way those are built, there's no insert to knock out.
Yeah.
So there's a couple rods that I'll use that I use pretty heavy braid on, and so far they seem to do the rings, all that they all hold up. So yeah. But
so Ken's got a question. Ken is a new angler to the club who is all in. He's the kind of angler I love. He has a lot of questions. He actually made the intro video for us. So if you guys are bumping that intro video when we start, that's courtesy of Ken. He's going to have to make a new one here soon. I just feel like we need another one. He asked what makes a good rod. So I'm going to give my 2 cents, and then you can give the build behind it. But Ken, for me, it's weight and sensitivity. And then obviously you're going to have your power and your action, but you'll get your power and your action in any rod you pick up. They won't all match. Like one company might say it's a medium heavy and it's really a medium. And then another company might say it's a medium heavy and it's a damn broomstick. But you'll get your power and your action everywhere, but it's weight and sensitivity. And for me, I hated spinning gear until I started using good spinning gear. And being able to feel a weightless worm get picked up, or that one tick on a jig, or, you could get away power fishing with a rod that's off the shelf because they're going to eat it and you're going to know it's there. It's that finesse presentation where it really changes everything for me. So for me, when I went super, super light, super, super sensitive spinning gear, it changed everything for me. Dylan has a funny answer there. So Dylan and I were talking about rods the other night, and he said I was just going to say glass. I am a huge fan of glass. There's always 4 glass rods in my yak at all times. 2 crankbait rods. One is a 711 for a little deeper, 10 plus, and one is I want to say it's 7.6 or 7.4 for like a 8 foot and below. And then I also have a glass chatterbait rod and a glass spinnerbait rod. And a lot of anglers, either regionally, nationwide, whatever, they don't really care for glass. There's some negatives. They're heavy, so it kind of goes against what I just said. They usually got a big butt, thick backbone, but that parabolic bend just makes up for it for me. So
you got to look at what you're fishing, right? What you're fishing
exactly.
with, right? You're throwing a big crankbait for your deep diver. You're throwing a square bill for your shallow diver. These are both baits that, you want your rod to be able to bounce, to allow that lure to search its way through the rocks or the limbs that you're, where you're putting it. So,
and can I say one more thing about glass? Yeah. I don't know who's going to be watching this. I'm really not sure how many people actually watch these videos that we do, but I don't really care because I enjoy hanging with you all. That extra split second to a second that you don't even know it takes you to set the hook on a glass rod is the difference between your chatterbait hanging out the lip here or being back here. And I'm going to knock on wood as I say this. My hookup to land ratio on spinnerbait, chatterbait, and all the crankbait I throw on glass is 100 times better than it is on graphite or fiberglass or whatever else you're throwing. I've said it before on stage at Hobie. Ryan Lambert turned me on to a couple glass rods. They're cheap. I bought them because they were cheap. I'm not going to lie about it. But, dude, they do the job, And this right here 2 weeks ago was 100% on my glass rods. So, I hope you're building some glass rods after Dylan got me over here talking them up. And I hope you can get some people some glass rods. But this is Corey Racer, who doesn't know how to click the link to allow access, saying that you got him hooked on a new build from Gas House, great insight and knowledge with the guide depending on the type of fishing and even preferred knot. So he's going to end up buying a rod from you. Dylan is saying your detail is amazing. And
Thank you.
Ken is probably meaning to text me this personally, asking if you make sensitive rods. So Ken, you're going to pay when you pay higher dollar, you're going to get more sensitivity. It kind of goes together. They go together. So you tell Kurt or Big Daddy Kurt what you are looking to build and what your budget is, and I'm sure he will be able to point you in the right direction.
Yep. So just the process. Let's talk about the process, right? When guys call me and want to know, what's the deal? How do I get a rod? So we sit down and have a conversation, and I have a build sheet, right? Whole bunch of questions, like, I don't know, probably 30, 35 questions, easy. Just talking about, what are you expecting out of the rod? What kind of, all the way down to thread color. Are you trying to match the guide wraps, the thread I use, the color, to a highlight color on your reel, your boat? Do you want the color of your kayak? All these things kind of come into play, but I ask all these questions because I want this rod. Number one, I want this rod to always be in your hand. But number two, every time you touch it, I really want you to look at it and go, golly, this rod is bad. This rod is just flat out bad. I need to save some money, get another one. I mean, that's the big thing.
Part. Save some money.
Yeah, right. That's the big thing. But we have a conversation. I hand deliver your rod anywhere within 2.5 to 3 hours of Charlotte.
Hold on, touch on that.
I will.
Where did you drive in December?
Oh God. December. Where did I drive in December?
You came all the way down to Clark's Hill.
Yeah.
Literally to the Tournament of Champions to hand. I think it was Joey Randall and Chris Goodwin.
Yep, they're the TOC tournament, the TOC championship, and the AOY championship. Both got our champions. Both got a custom rod, and yeah, I drove down. Guys, look, I build rods, but I'm not just the way my business model. I'm not just building rods. I'm building relationships. I want to hand deliver that rod if at all possible, just to get. It's that initial reaction when you grab that rod and you're like, oh my God, that's light. Oh, well, I mean, when you said it was going to be light, okay, but I wasn't expecting this. This is, to me, that's what makes the building part of it. That's what makes the building part of it worth it. What makes the business part of it worth it is hearing guys say, dude, I caught 5 of my limit fish on your rod.
4. 4.
Cold.
Oh, okay.
Right. When a guy goes, hey, look, my second largest fish came off that rod, and I never would have caught it if I hadn't had that rod in my hand. For me, that's the business end of it. But yeah, give me a call, man.
So Ken's comments up on the screen. I know you're not close enough to read it. No, you're good. It just says take my money.
So, all right, so I'm gonna tell you. So last year at Santee, and this is how bad South Carolina lakes are. Last year,
easy. They are for you.
That's what I said. Yeah, for me.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
So I went down to Santee and for the week, and I pre-fished the week down there. I actually stayed at the state park, and on one of the days it was kind of windy. Kind of, yeah. I was on the other end of the lake and ended up breaking one of my rods. All right, and ended up losing one of my rods over the side. So if you can imagine, I'm down there all week. So there's, the stay, the food, the gas, right? the wear and tear on the kayak, the wear and tear on the trailer, and then to turn around and lose over $300, over $600 worth of rod over the side. You know, one broke because I stepped on it. One went over the side. I mean,
because I dropped it.
I just, oh my gosh, no.
And then you had to run into me on tournament day, so that was a bad weekend.
Oh yeah, well, you and Frankie. I knew I was screwed. Soon as I ran out the bend, I heard y'all. I was like, ah, dang. So yeah, but you know, so yeah, it's fun. You know, it's not my day job. It is my second job. As soon as I get off work, I come home and this is where I'm at in my lab.
Love it.
I stay here till about midnight, 1:00 every morning, and back up 4:00 to go to work. So you know, as far as building rods is concerned, I kind of burn it, you know, kind of at both ends. But
nice.
But it's worth it, man, to pump these rods out and to constantly be, you know, I can get just about any kind of blank. My preferred blanks are MHX. I love them. They're especially easy for me to get, they're just easy for me to get. I can build on rain shadows, so I've got 1, 2, 3 rain shadow rods that are in the queue to be built. I've got 2 Norfolk composites, which are G Loomis rods that are in the queue to be built. I've got a rod that I'm working on right now for Webb Street School in Gastonia. This is going to be not a raffle rod, a silent auction rod.
Nice.
And then you know I put rods up on the table every now and again. Last year I loved it. You know, we talked about sponsoring and everything, and I kind of wasn't ready for it. And you gave me a little bit of a push, and I'm glad you did. Thank you.
No, man. Look, I want you to succeed. So, you know, it's
been fun. It has.
Somebody just said we need an Emerald School custom rod. So you got till August for that.
Yeah. So I've got so this year I'm doing the TOC and AOI rod again. So tournament champion and the angler of the year will get a custom rod. Those will both be on rain shadows. Last year they were both on MHX. This year they'll both be on rain shadows.
So if anybody cares about me as an angler, all of my rods are on rain shadows. So that should tell you that it is a decent blank or a good blank. Maybe I'm a decent angler. Good blank that I trust my entry money for. So the only 2 rods that I throw that are not rain shadows, actually it might be 3. One is a custom build on a different rod, but the other 2 of those cheap rods that I bought that I throw my chatterbait and spinnerbait on.
Now, something real quick. I'm just going to go. I'm going to talk about the build for just a second, and this comes to replacing a guide that I just did before I put this rod on. The guide I replaced is on a $250 rod, and the way the guide was put on absolutely blew me away when I took it off. I was like, why? A lot of these store-bought rods, and if you search the internet hard enough, you'll be able to find the manufacturing processes for these rods. But this rod is supposed to be, you know, if you look at the write-up for this rod, it's supposed to be the most sensitive spinning rod on the market. And I'm sorry, there's no way. The guides, number one, the guides are under-wrapped and over-wrapped. In other words, there's a layer of thread between your guide and the rod blank, right? That's called an underwrap. And then they put the guide down and reverse the thread back over the rod, or back over the guide. There's, you know, you want absolutely nothing between your line and that blank, because that blank through the reel seat into your hand. That's the only way a lot of times you can feel that fish. So the fewest things between that line and the palm of your hand, the better. And if you have guides that are under wrapped, and then the guide is placed on, and then the guide is wrapped over that, or the wrap is done over the guide, there's no way you're getting the full sensitivity from that guide into that blank. No way.
Makes sense.
So that's one of that's another one of the things that I do. I do not do under wraps at all. Period. I want my guy. I want the guide having direct contact with the blank.
Yeah.
That just simply makes it that much more sensitive.
Big Daddy Kurt, we had guys asking, 2 different guys asked for your contact info. So I put your Gas House Custom Rods Facebook link in the comments, and I also put your personal Facebook page in the comments.
Yep.
So they can just PM you. I guess that's okay, right?
Yep. DM me. PM me. DM me. Also, GHCR704@gmail is the email. So that's another.
Say it again. GHCR704.
Yeah.
GHCR704
GHCR704@gmail. Yep.
Put that on there too.
So.
And we'll see you at Fletcher, so they can talk to you there.
Yeah.
All 5 guys that are signed up can talk to you.
I will 7. Hey, I looked before there was 7. So 7. We're up to 7. So guys, come on. I mean, here it is Wednesday. I mean, almost Wednesday. For the better part of argument, it's Wednesday.
Bro, it's Wednesday. It's almost Thursday.
Yeah, it is Wednesday. See, I'm stuck in Tuesday, dude. I'm stuck in Tuesday. So it's the better part of Thursday, and we got 7 people signed up for this event. What the F? Over. Come on, guys. Really?
Hey, I'm going to provide opportunities. All we can do is hope people want them. That's what I say all the time. This year was a little bit of a test with these divisions. So, I gave Native a realistic goal of 30. So Big Adventures, Tyler, he was here. Right. He's my boss. So the goal is 30. So we're going to see if we can get there. We have 7 on Wednesday night at 9:09. So, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Usually we have 30, 35 on Friday.
Depending on the event. Yeah.
So
Blaine says Blaine says he ran some numbers, and 38% of our average attendance comes on Friday. So,
all right. I mean,
so we'll see. So that means if
reasonable, yeah.
That means if we're only going to have, let's say we're only going to have 50, that means 20 of them are going to sign up on Friday. So
get signed up. Hey, so look on the reels, y'all. I mean, I'm not just saying this to say it, but seriously, get signed up. You do not trust me on this one. I'm raising my hand. You do not want to wait. You do not want to wait till Friday, because at the end of a long week, work week, whatever, pre-fish week, you had a crap pre-fish, whatever. You sit down Friday afternoon. All right, I'm down here. I'm wherever it is you're at. I'm pre-fish. I'm all right. Let me go ahead and I don't want to spill too much.
You can say it.
All right, Hartwell, me. So Hartwell pre-fish killed me, right? I broke my steering twice, 2 different days. So I only got 2 to 3 hours pre-fish, for 3 days of being down there. And so Friday I finished fixing, between the rainstorms, I finished fixing my drive for the second time. I mean, my steering for the second time. And I was like, all right, cool. I got some time. I can sit down, relax, and just kind of chill. So turn the TV on. It was in a nice Airbnb. The couch was comfortable. I was like, all right, cool. I'm just going to sit here and watch a little bit of TV and just kind of relax, calm down, listen to the rain.
See you.
All right, so TV's still, it's dark outside now. TV's still, all right, cool. So what time is it? Damn. 11:50. Oh shit! I didn't sign. I missed a register. Oh my god! What the heck? So here I am blowing up Vinny, blowing up Blaine, trying to. I was like, oh my god! I can't believe I did this. I've been with this 5 years. I've not missed this, and here it is. I've missed the damn cutoff.
Well, so
Sign
the beauty of the cutoff is it's a soft cutoff. It's mostly for me to get situated, have payouts made, make sure everybody's taken care of, send my good luck email and all that good stuff. So luckily I saw your message in time. We were able to get you added, able for you to snatch up some southern points on Lake Hartwell and get a good pre-fish in for May 6th.
Yep. That was the whole purpose of doing that one.
Yeah.
I was on the fence whether I want to go down there, and I was like, well, if I'm gonna do it, I better go down and pre-fish and then just do the whole thing now. That way, when I go back, I'll kind of understand what's going on the lake, and then I won't have to pre-fish it. So
cool.
Just kind of worked out, except for
Well, if you go back and listen to Saturday night's speeches were pretty terrible on all three events because nobody wanted to share information. But if you go back and listen to the Bassmaster Kayak Series Open on Sunday night, some guys gave some tips away that might come into play on May 6th. I would venture to say they will come into play. So I would recommend you go check that out. Steve-O put on a great event. Obviously, we had a pretty good turnout. We had 80 for the South, so we were excited about that. But yeah, man. Well, look, we're going to get out of here because usually this is supposed to be 30 minutes and we're at an hour and 13 minutes. So I guess we're getting a little more serious, which is awesome. I appreciate you not only talking about your business, and obviously we love supporting local and supporting small business owners, but talking about the angler side of it all. I think guys need to hear that. They need to hear the real, right? I've struggled, I've not quit, and now I'm getting better. Like, that's an important progression for guys to see, especially a lot of the new anglers we have. There are anglers who are scared to fish this club because of our reputation. And I hate that. I want everybody to realize that we are an affordable mid-range club that just happens to have some hammers flying around it.
We've got some, if you want to get in the sport and you want to progress immediately right off the bat, this is the place to do it, because these guys that are fishing, they're going to push you, period. It's going to force you to really kind of sit down and start looking at bass, start looking at the biology of the bass, the movements, I mean, you can just even look at some of the stuff that I look at. I'm reading studies. I want to know how far bass moves from pre-spawn to spawn, from spawn to summertime. How far is that bass moving? And it depends. It depends on where that bass grows up. It depends on what there's a lot of things that are dependent. I want to know, why is there 9,000 colors of green worm? There's a reason for that. Why is there 9,000 colors of red worm? There's a reason for that.
Well, the reason is to sell more worms, but we won't talk about that tonight.
I don't think it's just that. I think there's some scientific studies out there that talk about the numbers of shades of green that bask in the sea.
Yeah,
it's vastly different than ours.
Yeah.
But you don't know these things. Just a normal weekend angler. If you want to jump in, you want to, actually sit down and say, hey, look, I want to get serious. I want to learn. I want to, really become a decent angler. I just, you gotta give us a try. Period. You gotta give Queen City a try. Jump in here, ask questions. People are gonna answer you. Pre-fish, find people to fish with. Just post it up on Facebook. Hey, look, it's Wednesday, Saturday. I'm going to Lake Wiley. Anybody want to go? Somebody's gonna say, hey, look, let's go.
Yep.
And that's the beauty of this club. There's a lot of hammers, but at the end of the day, if I'm going to Lake Hickory, hey, Matt, Talking about Matt Hodge. Hey, Matt, are you fishing? Yeah. When? Thursday. All right. Well, I'm coming up. Can I fish with you? Dude, every time. Yeah, come on, let's go.
Nice.
Right?
Miss Matty boy.
You know, I go Moss Lake. You know, hey, Jeremy, what are you doing? Oh man, let's go fish. All right, Moss Lake, 8:00. Yeah, all right, cool, let's go. You know,
Nice.
Except for now, he's up there in my spot. My spot on Lake James is where he caught them fish.
What fish did he catch? I heard a little rumor.
I heard a little rumor too.
I heard a little rumor. I heard something in the group chat, but I won't blow him up.
I saw something about a walleye.
I saw something about that too.
And
bro, you frozen again.
Oh man,
what is that about? You good now?
But there's only a very few places on James that you'll catch walleye right now. So I'm just saying.
Interesting. All right, I'm getting out of here.
Vinny, hey. Man, thank you for having me on.
Thanks for everything you do for us, man.
I absolutely love this club, bro. You run. I mean, you don't need me to tell you. You know, when you got anglers and clubs all over the U.S. that know who Queen City is, who Vinny is, who our anglers are, you know you're doing something right. So,
hey,
I mean, it's
like I said 5 minutes ago.
Yes, we're regional. You know, we're regional, or we're grassroots. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. We are a no BS club. I mean, there's no way around it. So, you know, yeah. Thank you for doing all the things that you do to give us and you know, provide us this entire platform, right? So,
well, I appreciate you, brother. Let's keep having fun, and everybody who's watching this or going to watch this, take advantage of the opportunities, come make some money, come meet some friends, and hopefully this can be the club for you. But get yourself a custom rod from Big Daddy Kurt, and I shall see you Saturday afternoon at Fletcher eating some hamburgers and hot dogs, buddy.
Yes, sir. Might
Later, dog.
Some more of those up.
Bring them up.
Yep.
Later.
All
right. Man, that was a good one tonight, boys and girls. I'm tired, but I enjoyed that. We started off with Tyler with Big Adventures. We had an awesome flow conversation going on with California and Marvin, and then we ended with Big Daddy Kurt and Gas House Custom Rods. So we are rolling. We've got 3 mains in the books. We've got 2 southerns in the books. We're about to have 2 westerns in the books. Crazy to think that after Saturday we will have hosted 7 events already. I don't even know what our total payout is right now. Ryan has it, but it is a lot of money. So continue fishing, having fun, and let's get on Lake James signups. Let's get over to Big Adventures, and let's see who goes home with a native watercraft Falcon 11. If you guys need anything, hit me up, and we'll see you all this weekend. Have a good night.